right. Nathaniel, he was very honest, and he said, what did you say, Nathaniel?
If this thing was adapted into a movie, I would watch the hell out of it.
We did feel there was something very, Nathaniel did feel it would make a good film. And so we did talk about, what is it in us that, sort of drawn. It's quite an exciting story, but it is a bit gruesome, so we've tried to, tone it down a little bit. There isn't too much blood. Okay, but we'll do our best. Thank you, Fran. Right. One day, Samson went down to his local town where he rather liked the look of one of the Philistine girls. Not Delilah yet. Delilah, I think you need to just... You're stealing Lily's thunder. So he went home and spoke to his father. Come on, Dad, stand up then. Nice big voices, and remember that way.
I saw a woman in town, a Philistine girl. Go and get her for me as my wife.
Why do you need a Philistine girl? I mean, Philistine? Seriously?
She's the one I want. Get her for me.
Oh, fine.
Samson's parents had no idea that God was going to use this against the Philistines, who had been oppressing the Israelites for many years. As Samson went back towards town, a young lion came roaring at him. God's spirit came powerfully on Samson, and he ripped the lion open with his bare hands. But he didn't tell his parents what he had done. So when he met his dad later that day, his dad said,
Why did you rip me open?
no, you've got to change character now, Nathaniel.
Oh, right.
Come on. His dad said, hello, Samson.
Oh, hello, Samson. Have you done anything interesting today, apart from actually?
No, Samson shrugged. A few days later, Samson was on a visit to see his future wife, and he went over to look at what was left of the lion. He was amazed to see a swarm of bees in the lion's carcass, and so much honey. He scooped some honey up into his hands and ate it as he walked along, and when he got home, Lion now has to turn into father. He gave some to his father and mother, but didn't tell them he'd taken it out of the lion's carcass. His dad said,
But this is very nice honey, Samson. Where did you get it?
Samson shrugged his shoulders. Some days later, at the food and wine-filled wedding banquet, Samson stood up before all his guests.
Let me ask you a riddle. If you can tell me the answer by the end of the feast, I'll give you 30 linen garments and another 30 changes of clothing.
Okay, what is this?
And if you can't work it out, you must give the clothes to me.
Okay, what is this riddle?
From the eater came something to eat. From the strong came something sweet. What was that about?
Well, the guests were very puzzled and they couldn't figure it out. And so after 3 days, they went to Samson's new bride, saying,
Get your husband and get the answer to this riddle. Right, he said prince.
Wrong bride, Nathaniel.
Right. It's the answer to your husband's riddle, or I will slit your throat and burn down your house. And generally be very nasty.
So, as you can imagine, Samson's bride was rather worried and went to Samson in tears.
Do you want me? Tell me the answer to your riddle.
No, I haven't even told my parents. Why would I tell you?
You love me, don't you?
Well, she just kept on and on and on at him, asking and asking and asking and asking until he was worn out. And then he told her.
The answer is strong is the lion and sweet is the honey.
Immediately, she went to tell the guests. On the final day of the feast, just before sunset, the guests came to Samson and said,
What is sweet then? Oh, I don't know, honey, maybe.
ready in your positions?
Okay.
And he killed 30 men. So don't forget to count.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You would have killed me for 10. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, I know. 16, 17, ow. 18, 19, ow. 20, 21. 22, 23, 24, 25, 27, 28, 30.
And when he killed 30 men, he took their clothes to give to the men who had solved the riddle. And then, seething with anger, he went back to his father's house. And meanwhile, his bride became the wife of the best man at the wedding. Yeah, it's not a good story, is it? When he found out about this, he was very angry and went out and captured 300 foxes. We sort of imagined what this would be like, trying to catch them in the first place. Tied their tails together in pairs, poor foxes, and then he tied burning torches to the tails and sent them running into the Philistines' fields that they were about to harvest. So the Philistines got ready to attack Israel. They explained to the Israelites that it was because of what Samson had done. So the Israelites complained to Samson, saying, "Why do you keep making things worse? We're going to tie you up and hand you over to the Philistines." Samson said,
Okay, but please don't hurt me.
so they tied him up. Remember, just... Thank you. As the Philistines came to get Samson, he was filled with the Holy Spirit, and he easily snapped off the ropes and then picked up the jawbone of an ass and killed all the Philistines. Just a little interlude here from our resident archaeologist.
Okay, here we have a jawbone. We're not actually sure if it is a donkey jawbone. It's about the right size and shape. And obviously your jaw is U-shaped, so you have the thick bit at the back that joins onto the skull. It goes round, it'll be sort of inside the teeth and nibbling this grass at the front. You come back along here, so this is just half the jawbone, okay? So you would have had half of one. Thin end, thick end, you'd grab like that from whack, I imagine. There we go.
Thank you. On that spot was known as Jawbone Hill. So it's interesting, isn't it? Already 2 dead bodies that Samson has been involved with, 2 animals, from what Steve said at the beginning. The lion and the... Pardon? And 30 people in the village, yes, people, yes, but animals as well. Okay, so we're moving on now to girlfriend number 2, or maybe 3, but we have 2 for this story. Okay, so Samson got himself a new girlfriend with very lovely hair, called Delilah. So the Philistine lords came to Delilah in secret while Samson was out of the room and said,
If you tell us how to tie Samson up and what the secret of his strength is, we'll each give you 1,100 pieces of silver.
Wow, disappoint us. Well, that's a joke. Hey, are we rich?
So Delilah, with her lovely hair, using all her charms, went to see Samson. Remember to face the front.
Samson, darling, what is the secret of your strength? How could someone defeat you?
If I was tied up with 7 fresh bowstrings that hadn't been dried, I'd be as weak as any man.
So the Philistines gave 7 fresh bowstrings to Delilah to tie up Samson as he slept while the Philistines lay in wait.
Samson, wake up! The Philistines are here!
When Samson woke, he easily snapped the strings and the Philistines ran away.
Yeah, so scared.
Samson, darling, you lied to me. Go on, tell me your secret.
If I was tied up with 7 unused ropes, I'd be weak as any man.
So the Philistines gave 7